InnerQuest explores various pathways through which you can connect with the infinite wisdom of the universe and apply it to personal, professional, and spiritual growth. This program, featuring accomplished practitioners, educators, and authors, is provided by Infinity Foundation, an innovative center for holistic studies and research. We invite you to share this journey with us.
Hello, welcome to InnerQuest. My name is Jay Stone, your host for today, and our guest is Sharan Tash. Welcome, Sharan.
Thank you, Jay.
Good to see you again.
Nice to see you, too.
Sharan is a certified personal trainer. She also has specialized certifications for women's exercise specialists and senior exercise specialists. She is the owner of the Wellness Tutors, an in-home personal training company, and is developing Tash Fitness, a boutique fitness facility in the North Shore. How's that coming along?
I'm very excited. We have narrowed it down to a location. I've got the architects coming in now. It's exciting because there's nothing else like it.
Yeah, and you also have quite an education and training and behind you. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about your education? You have a bachelor's, a master's degree. You're not the average personal trainer who works at the health club.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that sets me apart from a lot of trainers is I was over 300 pounds. I was close to 350 pounds at one point. And I lost a lot of weight, lost over 130 pounds. Yeah, I know. And it's hard to keep it off. But even though I'm not a size 0 or size 2 or 4, I'm in good shape for the size that I am. So I'm a good role model and a good motivator for men and women who have never exercised before. I'm comfortable at the weight I'm at.
And did you weigh that much when you were getting your bachelor's and master's degree in exercise physiology?
Yes. I lost 130 pounds when I was going for my master's degree.
Tell our audience what your master's degree's in.
No problem. I worked on my master's degree in exercise physiology, cardiac rehab.
Mm-hmm.
So I did an internship at Good Samaritan Hospital in Downers Grove, but I also did an internship at the Cooper Clinic down in Dallas.
And is that the famous runner, Cooper?
Yes, and he started the aerobics world.
Yes.
And he still has a clinic down there. So I spent a summer down there as an intern where we would do stress tests we did a stress test on Frank Shorter. Mm-hmm. And that was amazing to see this man run.
He was a mile runner, I believe.
He was, you know what, my mind, I can't remember exactly, but he was a distance runner, I thought.
Oh, you could, yeah, okay.
And we were able to get him to go so far on a Bruce stress test. I mean, the treadmill was up like this. He came off the treadmill, threw up, and we all went, max! So we got him to his maximum, and that was just so much fun. And trying to take blood pressure on someone who's running like that, that's what I had to do. So that was tough.
Yeah. And did the whole clinic turn out for Frank Shorter?
You know, they're so used to having so many people there. It was us interns that were more excited than anything.
Yeah. So you're able to take all your knowledge and your experience, personal and professional, and put it into the design of this fitness boutique.
Correct. And I think one of the things that will really set us apart, when you go into these big box stores or a lot of fitness facilities, customer service they don't care about as long as they get your money every month. Customer service is so important. I want my facility to be like the Ritz-Carlton.
And is it going to be more for individual? Is it going to be group classes?
We're going to have both. We'll have group fitness, so we'll have Zumba, Bokwa, Step, all of those type of classes. We'll have individual personal training, so one-on-ones. We'll also have some small training, so 3 to 5 people. Then we'll have some boot camps. We'll have corporate fitness. Mm-hmm. And another aspect of that will be we're going to have accountability groups. So that when people come in and they want to reach a goal, not only they're going to be accountable to someone on my staff, they're going to be accountable to a group of people on a weekly basis.
Oh, that's great. And are you going to take diet into consideration?
I don't like the word diet.
Okay.
Because diet has a beginning and an end. We are working on their lifestyle change. And 80% of the success in changing your lifestyle is what you put in your mouth. So it's very important that they take that into effect. I do want to tell you a story about someone,
Sure.
2 clients that I just had. They really didn't want to work on the diet aspect, and I said, 80% is what you eat. And I was going out of town, and I said, tell me a little bit about what you're eating. And the mom said, I drink a lot of Pepsi, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I said, all I want you to do for the next month is change to Diet Pepsi. Can you do that? And she said, yes. When I got back from my vacation a month later, she had lost 20 pounds by just changing from Pepsi to Diet Pepsi. Now, should she be drinking Diet Pepsi? No. But if I told her to go off of it completely, she never would have done it.
Now, I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the body figures out diet soda and just turns it into calories anyway.
There's so many, from what I've read, there's so many chemicals in Diet Pepsi that your liver is having to clean that out. And also all of the gases that are in it, it makes your stomach feel full.
Yeah.
I have given up all types of drinks like that. But if someone can't do it, go at least to Diet Pepsi.
Sure.
And make little changes.
All right. Why don't you tell our audience what your tagline is?
I get it.
Okay.
I get it. And the thing that people understand about that is I tell them I was 350 pounds. I know what it's like. I want to eat the whole Lou Malnati's pizza instead of just a slice. I want to eat the whole bread basket instead of pushing it away.
You mentioned Lou Malnati's pizza. I'll order a extra big pizza so I have extras left over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, when everybody leaves, that was my problem. Then I'd eat the extra. So I was a sneak eater. But I understand that. I understand what it is to get up in the morning. You don't want to work out. So I've been through it. I've succeeded. I still fight it. And I love helping people get to that point.
Did you ever hear the Course in Miracles saying you teach what you have to learn?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so
Absolutely.
you're living proof to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it saved your life and gave you a purpose.
And I wanted to be a good role model for my children. That was the big thing. I went
Is it
back
working?
to school. I think so.
Good.
I got great kids.
Good. Good. Now, do you want to say a few words about your other tagline of SAFE?
Yes. It's sizeless, ageless fitness endeavors. Or the E could be education. We can do it any which way. The thing I want people to understand is it's sizeless. I don't care if you are a size 0 or 00, I don't know what that is, or you're a size 36. You're going to have a nice, comfortable place to work out with no judgments. A is ageless. I'm 61. My dad is 91. My kids, I'm going to be a bubby in May, so my children and grandchildren are welcome there. They're not going to be judged for anything. Fitness, there's all areas of fitness, financial fitness, spiritual fitness. All of that is tied in because we want you to have a balanced life. And it's education or it's an endeavor and a journey, whichever way you want to look at it.
Okay. And what are some exercise, diet, and weight misconceptions that prevent people from becoming healthier?
Well, I like what you had said earlier, diet.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of diets because, like I said, there's a beginning and an end. And I've been on every diet. Like I like to say, I've lost over 2,000 pounds. Unfortunately, I've gained 2,100 pounds.
Yeah.
But the diet puts in your mind, okay, now I have to give up so much stuff. I have to start working out. I have to, and you're making all these changes. With a lifestyle change, I like to have you change one thing at a time. Make it a habit, and then you're more likely to succeed. Also, get yourself an accountability partner. People who work out and make this change with other people, and it could be a husband, it could be a spouse, it could be any number of people. When you have support, you're 3 times more likely to succeed and be at a better place in 3 years.
You say 3 times more likely. Where do you get that figure from?
It's from all the reading that I've done. Sometimes they say 4 times. I mostly hear the 3 number. And, lastly, it was from a book that I read by Jonathan Baylor, The Calorie Myth. So that's part of that.
And I've also heard that writing things down also increases a person's likelihood of achieving goals.
Well, being aware of what you're eating, correct. And some people write. There's an app called MyFitnessPal on the phone or on your laptop. Keeps track of all your food, but you got to measure it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people eat out, and they estimate much less of what they're eating if they don't know exactly if they've weighed everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, writing it down, being aware of what you're eating. When I want this chocolate, if I wanted to have some of that chocolate, I'd think to myself, first, what's triggering me to want to eat that? And I have a little conversation going on in my mind. So if I decide to eat it, I'm aware of why I'm eating it. And I might pair it with an almond, or I might just eat it.
Okay. And why would you pair with the almond? For the protein?
For the protein, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And do you have any, and why would you want to pair chocolate with protein, or why is it important to pair foods up?
My nutritionist, who's really wonderful, and I want to preface this to everyone, I am not a nutritionist. I'm going by what I have learned through reading and through my own nutritionist. When you pair a protein with something like this, the protein takes much longer to break down. So it's in your stomach longer, filling it up. The sugar is going to go immediately into your bloodstream. And, you know, you're going to go on the up. The sugar high and then the crash. At least with a protein, you're not going to have as hard of a crash. Now, if I eat 20 of these and one almond, I'm still going to crash.
Yeah. Now, before the show, I noticed your watch, and you've got, and yeah.
Nike Fuel Band, yeah.
Yeah, can you just say a few words and how you use like modern technology, you know, in your workout for your own personal health and your clients?
Absolutely. A lot of my clients say, oh, I worked out at the gym last week on the treadmill and I burnt, 500 and something calories. I said, did you wear a heart rate monitor? No, that's what the machine said. Those are always skewed to burn more calories than what you actually do. Then if you have someone who says, yes, I wore a heart rate monitor, and I said, was it gauged towards your heart rate? Did you go through a stress test to know what your maximum heart rate is? No, I didn't. Well, then that's not a good test. My heart rate monitor and my watch are gauged towards my maximum heart rate, because I can get my heart rate up to about 180 to 185. So if I were to go, 50% of my max just from age, I wouldn't even break into a sweat. So mine is fairly accurate. So when you wear these things, you should go and have it tested.
And what's the information you get from that?
I get on here what zone I'm in and how many calories I'm burning, and I wear it during when I'm training people because there's seconds involved. So I can do a Tabata workout. I like it because there's seconds in here.
Yeah, and so our audience may not know the zone. What's the zone you refer to? Well,
there's the anaerobic zone, which is when you're really running hard. You cannot talk. You're going to fall off the treadmill like Frank Shorter did. There, you're burning mostly carbohydrates. While we're sitting here, we're mostly burning fats, but we're not burning a lot of calories. So I like to work in a zone where you're burning more carbohydrates and fats, but you're not burning mostly fats, because I'd rather burn more carbohydrates, get the workout done, high intensity, but then when I'm relaxing, I'm burning more fats because now I'm sitting and my body is using the energy system with the oxygen to replenish everything, and I'm burning fats.
Okay. And then the thing on your right wrist?
This is a Nike Fuel Band, and my daughter Eliza had told me about it. This it's got like fuel points. So right now I'm only at 2,006 fuel points. It's just an arbitrary number. It gets me moving because my goal is to burn 3,000 fuel points at the end of the day, and so many steps, like 10,000 steps.
So it measures the steps?
Correct. So by wearing this, when I'm waiting to speak to someone, I usually get up, I pace, I do something so I'm not just sitting.
And what does something like that cost?
This one from Nike was $149. And they have different ones. They have Fitbit. There's a lot of different types of programs and tchotchkes that you can wear.
And do you recommend those for your clients and students?
I recommend different kinds. I'm going to a conference in March. I want to see the new technology. So I want to see what else is new. I've had this for about 1.5 years now. I'm ready for a new one.
Okay. Okay. So what separates you from other personal trainers?
I think my passion and the fact that I understand. I can start someone 5 minutes. That's all I want them to work. For someone who has never worked out before, 5 minutes may be the only thing they can do, and then we work up from there.
And do you, all right, so let's say somebody comes to you, new client, and they never worked out before, and they need to lose weight, they may have heart disease, something else. What, do you initially sit down and you talk with a person?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a one-on-one. I have a lot of intake forms. If someone has heart disease, they're going to have a doctor's release. If they have children in the house or a spouse who's not supportive and is going to bring in Dunkin' Donuts or Lou Malinati's Pizza while they're making this change, it's going to be very difficult for them. But I want them to be aware that it's going to be a challenge. So I try and set them up for success.
Okay.
Not set them up for failure. And that's where the difference is. Because if they don't have that support, when we're first talking, I tell them, let's try and find you some support somewhere. Or can you talk to your husband about not bringing home the candy or the garbage?
Well, you talked about accountability at your fitness boutique. Does accountability, does that also create some support for the person?
Oh, absolutely. If they are having difficulty in an area of their life, we want to be their support system. If they are having problems with their finances, we're going to recommend someone who can help them. They're having problems, spirituality, we're going to help them find that. If they're having problems with their family, nutrition, I've got a great database of professionals that I can refer them to.
Okay. All right. And so you do this initial consultation. You only do 5 minutes. So somebody's thinking, well, it's going to take me, 15 minutes to get dressed and, another 10 minutes to drive there. For 5 minutes, why should I do it?
If they can do 5 minutes more than they've ever done before, that's good.
That's progress.
If they want to come for a half hour, we can do a half hour. I've got one client that we only work out for 15 minutes. The other 45 is really helping her with the psychological part of wanting to work out, having to work out, wanting to diet, not wanting to lifestyle change, all those things. What should she be changing? And that's what they need. They need hand-holding.
Okay. And how's this client doing?
Fine.
And
Very well.
how long has she been with you?
This is the one that she went off the diet, went off the Pepsi, and now is on Diet Pepsi. She's doing very well.
Okay.
We just started working out.
Well, I always say whatever weight you lose it in such a way that it stays off.
Correct.
And to me, the key to that is just replacing a bad habit with a better one.
Absolutely.
I say, lose a vice, gain a virtue.
That's exactly it. But it took me a while to learn that. I wasn't
Yeah.
eating enough protein. Now I eat a lot more protein, very few carbs, and I watch the fat. I don't eat margarine. I'm trying to eat pure food. If I can't pronounce what's on a label, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah. And so what are your sources of protein? You mentioned almonds before.
I will have a protein shake in the morning, or I'll have steel-cut oatmeal. Love steel-cut oatmeal with a tablespoon of chia seeds on there, 2% milk. Or I might have eggs or turkey bacon. Lunch, I'll make tuna, a can of tuna with chia seeds again on wasa bread. Dinner, I might have salmon, smoked salmon. So that's the kind of thing. I still get to eat what I like.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned chia seeds. Our audience may not know about chia seeds.
They're like the little chia thing that you put on the pet, the chia pet, but these are edible.
Oh,
It looks
okay.
the same thing, but
Yeah.
they're very high in omega-3s. They're good for you, and they
And-
keep you regular.
Okay, and good for the brain.
Absolutely.
And omega-3s, is that what's beneficial to the brain?
I think all the omegas are. Again,
Yeah.
I'm not a nutritionist, and I don't remember all of those, vitamins and things. I'll be the first one to say I don't remember.
Okay. Why are you choosing to work with your clients in their homes and in your boutique studio rather than the big box clubs?
I'm not accepted in my field for the way I look.
Yeah.
When I go to fitness conferences, I'm not looked at as someone who's really in the fitness field. I'm playing around with it.
Yeah, and to me, just to hear that, it just doesn't sound right.
It's not, but
It doesn't sound good. It
It-
just makes me sad to hear you say that.
But look at our TV. Look at The Biggest Loser. Look at the people that kids look up to. Look at our actresses and actors.
Well, there's some exceptions, like Kathy Bates won
Correct.
2 Academy Awards, great actress.
Absolutely. Some exceptions.
Yeah, Melissa McCarthy.
Yes.
She's a great comedian actress.
Correct.
Yeah.
But then you have all these people, let's look at the woman who just won The Biggest Loser. She lost so much weight. People were outraged because she looked anorexic, and she did. But it's a game show. She had to lose that much weight, and she talked about it. I wanted to win the $250,000.
Yeah.
And now she's going to go to her normal, healthy weight. She made sure she looked anorexic in order to win. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sad.
So, but don't you feel that by going to people's homes or working in your boutique, fitness boutique, that you can just be yourself?
Absolutely.
And isn't that what you want for your clients, to be him or herself?
I want them to be comfortable in their own skin.
Safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also I find, because I'm a therapist, and when I do home visits, you can just learn so much in a 5-minute visit than from 10 office visits.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And you can see what I like to go to someone's home because I want to see what kind of environment are they living in. Do they have fitness equipment there? Do they, can they? I like to work out in their homes sometimes because then I can figure out where can they attach different things to so they can continue working out.
Do you recommend that? Like what would you, give some recommendations of attaching things?
Well, you know what? There's the elastic bands.
Mm-hmm.
There's many companies that sell elastic bands. There's the Resistant Band company. There's Black Mountain. There's Spree. I like those that attach to a door. There's the Bosu ball. That's flat on the bottom and a little thing on top. There's ladders that you could put on the ground. Now, a lot of these things,
Ladders?
yeah, so people can do agility.
Oh, okay.
A lot of this, when people are first starting, they just need to work on functionality, which is, can they get up and down from a chair without having to use their arms to get them up?
Mm-hmm.
That's functional. Can they reach up to a cabinet without hurting their shoulder? Can they turn and look behind them when they're driving a car? Sometimes they can't even do that. So all of these little tricks, all these little gimmicks, we don't really need. We need to work on functionality.
And so describe how your exercises helps people work with functionality. Do you have people practicing, getting out of a chair, or practicing getting cans from the top?
No, my assessment is very functional.
Okay.
And I can look at them side by side, so that if their right leg is doing it well, but their left leg isn't, there's something wrong going on with their left leg, which is going to affect the hip and then the back. So I work on each side. I've got to see, are they symmetrical? Mm-hmm. And from there, then we work on what needs to be done in order to get them to stand up. So one of the very simple things I do is have them stand up, reach, and then sit down again. And if they can do that without holding on, a lot of people can't. That's functional.
Do you tell people not to hold on to the chair when they get up?
When they can. To start with, they may need that. Mm-hmm. Plus, it's not sitting down letting your butt hit first. I want your hamstrings, the back of your legs, to hit the chair first. So it's controlled sitting down.
And do you perform these functionality tests several times, like every month or couple months, to see the progress?
Absolutely.
And do the patients, your
Clients.
clients, recognize that their functionality has improved?
Correct, because they know that they're scaled on a 0 to 3 basis. And so if they were at a 0, but then they get a 1, they know that they're getting better.
Yeah, it's interesting. My father's 86, and he was doing physical therapy, and he wanted to continue, and so he's asking his insurance company, but he said, even if the insurance company says no, he says, I'm going to pay for it because I like it. But it was interesting, because I asked my dad all the different exercises, and he showed me all of them, and I said, could you do that at home? He says, yeah, everything he said he could have done at home.
Correct.
But he likes the physical therapist guiding him through.
My dad is 91, and he goes to his trainer 3 times a week. And because of me getting him a personal trainer, he broke his hip last April, and he was walking without a cane in 2 months because he worked on balance, he works on functional fitness.
And, so instead of my father, or maybe instead of, in addition to my father going to physical therapy, do you think a personal trainer could work for him?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But someone who understands senior fitness. Make sure that they have some type of continuing education in senior fitness.
Yeah, I noticed that you had 2 special certifications, women's exercise and seniors.
And now I'm working on functional fitness also. I'm working on a certification for that.
And how would you say women's exercise is different than men's?
Well, women's will go anywhere from prepubescent to teenagers when the hormones are raging. You've got your premenopausal, you got your menopausal, and you've got your women who may have osteoporosis. Each one has a different set of things that you have to look for.
Yeah, okay.
And women work out differently than men, and understanding that. Because women like the camaraderie. Where men could get into a gym, they don't have to talk to anybody, but outshine each other.
Yeah. Okay. Now, we're about a minute and a half to go. Is there anything you haven't touched on that you really want to get in before the end of the show?
Well, I'm just hoping that people who are thinking of exercise will at least make an effort to park a little bit farther away, to do one little thing to change their life in order to have a better quality of life. I like to think of myself as a transformer of people in the fitness area. Transform one thing at a time. Don't take on more than what you can bite, but take that first step. And if they want to call me, ask me for help, I'd be happy to help them.
Good. Let's see. Well, I'm going to ask you another question. I've tried every diet, and there's nothing, and nothing has ever worked for me. Can you answer that in 20 seconds?
Sure, I did them all. I did the Oprah Winfrey diet, I did the bead diet, I did the cabbage soup diet, I did the chocolate chip cookie diet, I did all of them. When you think of it as a diet, it's never going to work. It's got to be a lifestyle change.
All right. For more information about InnerQuest, Infinity Foundation, or Sharan, stay tuned to the credits at the end. Until next time, wish you good health, good spirits, and good fortune. Thank you so much, Sharan.
Thank you, Jay.
For more information about this show, our guests, Infinity Foundation, or any of our other programs, please visit our website, infinityfoundation.org.